Renewable energy to the rescue. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Let's have a look at this media release from the Minister for Energy, the Environment and Climate Change, the Honourable Lily Diamarossi from the Victorian State Government, about how renewables will help drive the Victorian economic recovery after they've shut down and destroyed the entire bloody economy down there, put hundreds of thousands of people out of work, destroyed businesses, taken away people's rights and liberties. Renewables are going to be what they're going to use to fix it all. So let's have a look. Right now, this is Wind Finder. You can see here, look at the wind here flowing over Victoria. They love their renewables in Victoria, don't we all know that? Let's look at the energy production that's coming out right now of this CapEx investment along the Victorian coast. Oh, look at this one here. 3% of its maximum output. 2%. Not 14%. That's not bad. Oh, sorry. 0% for this one. Here we go. Here we got some good ones. 31%. So 6 megawatts out of 20 capacity. See these red things here? These red dots? They're always red. You know why? Because they're coal plants and they're always running over 100% in Victoria. Look at how much CapEx and infrastructure has been invested in renewables, which just aren't producing. This is why Victoria has high power. This is why South Australia has high power. Have a look here at the production rates, where it's all coming from, what's generating our power. Power costs affect the ability for industry to compete on a global scale. They affect the ability for Australia to compete with regards to manufacturing. I'm bringing up here the Observatory of Economic Complexity. You can see Australia is ranked 73 in the world out of 137 countries. Our economy isn't very advanced. We don't have advanced manufacturing. We don't have advanced capabilities. We are sending off raw materials around the world. We're just a colonial supply depot for the Northern Hemisphere, pretty much. You can see that even. Let's have a look here. We'll look at live shipping data and just have a look. Look at the streams of ships leaving Australia. You can see it once it loads up. Look at that. Leaving Australia, saying iron ore, bulk goods, everything. Heading up north. A lot of it to China. To China, because we're actually pretty close compared to Europe and other countries. Streams of ships, streams of resources leaving our nation. And they want to invest in renewables as a way of reinvigorating their economy. An interesting tale. In Tasmania, one of the reasons why Hobart has a Cadbury factory was the access to dairy milk and the cool climate. That's why, when they were scouting it out so long ago. And what else? Cheap power. Cheap power. So, here's the thing, guys. Look at all that infrastructure. Look at that. And you know what Victoria also has right here in the Bass Strait? A lot of gas. A lot of cheap gas. So let's jump back here and look at this strategy, because it doesn't fill me with any confidence. So, and one thing we have to remember as well, in Victoria, they've got their solar industry there. And what's happened is, to put solar panels on your roof, and that's producing, we can have a look here, we can see how much it's producing as well. Energy production. That's the rooftop solar here, this one here. The one where they're getting pensioners to take loans under the guise that they'll make money back, and then, if there's an the power company will spike the voltage to shut them down. Yeah, that infrastructure. Anyway, but because of the subsidies the government has put in that are so high in Victoria, they've capped the industry. Because you get pretty much 50% off, so you'll just wait another month if you don't get in the first 1,000 people. So there's only about 1,000 installations happening every month. So how many suppliers and installers are gonna cop it? Their work's drying up. That's it. That's government intervention right there. This is frustrating because they're getting involved, they're messing it up, and this is just going to drive up costs. This will just drive up costs, guys, because none of this stuff, all the panels. The solar panels, most of them are made in China. There's a few manufacturers here. We're going to have a silicosis epidemic when they all need to get demolished. You've got the wind turbines. There's a whole lot of embodied energy in these things as well. It's never that the average punter doesn't understand. It's the energy in manufacturing it. It's the energy in transporting it. It's the energy in installing it. That doesn't disappear. You need to generate power, and it has to be more effective than other methods. That's when you get your offset. All of that needs to be accounted for until it becomes carbon neutral, and otherwise it's a waste of time. And then with the wind turbines, they can't even recycle the blades. It's all, fiber, glue and other balsa wood and other rubbish that's all put there in a mess. They just have to bury it. Oh, and they blow them up to pull them down. Really good for the environment. I mean, this is just political posturing. It is just utter political posturing. And the government needs to get out of these businesses. They need to step out of the way. But there won't be any will, because people think it's a good thing. They don't understand. They don't know about embodied energy. Like, they're forcing everyone to put all of these environmental things in houses, or get these stupid star ratings, which can be completely fraudulently just modified. And I've seen people do it. They get you to put insulation in your house because it's good for the environment. But unless you have air conditioning, it's never actually going to be a benefit significantly. You can open a window and offset the thermal load, or you can design your house a little bit better. And if you have air conditioning, it'll take 50 years? This is why they want to put the renewables. They want to make the power costs go up higher, so all these other interventions they're forcing you to do look smarter by comparison. So yes, you can tell this frustrates me a lot. As an architect, we've had the whole embodied energy, we've had the whole green stuff just rammed down our throat all through university, and I really question the validity of a lot of the arguments when you just do the sums. So, more renewables to help drive Victoria's economic recovery. Renewable energy will help drive Victoria's economic recovery from their government lockdowns, with the government announcing a market sounding for hundreds of megawatts of new, clean and affordable electricity. So you're gonna start some new gas turbine capacity, or open up a new coal mine with more efficient burning, modern tech, or maybe one of these new small nuclear plants that are coming out, 4th generation, that can reuse the waste of other plants. Wouldn't that be good? Like the tech that North Korea has. But no, we're just a Southern Hemisphere colony. We just dig holes, sell houses, and serve coffees. Minister for Energy, the Environment and Climate Change, Lily Diamorossi, today announced the start of a market-sounding process that will test industry interest and capacity for new solar, wind, and other renewable energy projects. The process will also explore the potential for electricity-reliant industries and businesses to buy renewable energy along with government through this process. In 2017, the Victorian Government sought 650 megawatts of renewable energy through the Victorian Renewable Energy Target auction. And you remember when they were warning us about blackouts in Victoria and South Australia? Remember that? That's a while ago. I need to dig up that episode again. The VRET auction exceeded this ambitious target, delivering 928 megawatts of renewable energy, boosting supply, putting downward pressure on power prices, and supporting 1,500 jobs and opportunities for local businesses. Yes, but what's the opportunity cost of investing in this? What is the opportunity cost of the incentives that you created for people to build all these bloody things all over the country, all over the state? I mean, look at this now. 5 megawatts, 1, that's 6, 19, half of them running at 0. And you've got a 500 megawatt and a 380 megawatt one. If you just built one more coal plant, or even just, kick up another gas turbine when you need it. It represents the next step in Victoria's plan to continue to drive significant investment in renewable energy, with more support to come to expedite the streamlined grid connections. Victoria is on track to meet its legislative 2020 renewable target of 25%, and procuring a new generation will make a significant contribution to meeting the 2025 target of 40% renewable. What's happening in California, guys? What's happening in the real California? Not our fake California here that we're talking about, the real one. Blackouts. Blackouts. In the middle of summer. Or, well, no, it's not the summer anymore, but blackouts. And the legislative target of net zero emissions by 2050. This is the stupidest thing in the world. It's not going to make any impact. Okay, here's a quote from our chief scientist, Finkel. He was asked, if the world was to reduce carbon emissions by 1.3%, that's what Australia produces, What would be the impact on climate change? And his response was that it would be virtually nothing. And then he rephrases and says, oh, we have to do it anyway to look good. And I'm paraphrasing, but it's getting frustrating that we're hearing the same stuff again and again and again, and this will just cost jobs. This will cost jobs. Because you know why? Because power gets even more expensive in Australia. We've got one of the highest minimum wages in the world. We've got one of the highest bloody power prices in the world. What about the pensioners? Remember that article we looked at the food bank? Every time the utility bill came in South Australia, the food bank would get a rush because people had to pay their bills. First world country, sure. Lucky country, sure. The amount of natural resources Australia has, it just is insane, the power prices we're paying. It is just insane. We've really been screwed over by our leaders. We really have. And there's so many idiots that believe all this garbage. They think they're making a difference. Yeah, they are. They are making a difference to the environment. They're making a difference to the environment of their neighbor whose quality of life is going down from that of their parents because everything costs so much. And here's some quotes. Let's look at the quotes. Renewable energy is supporting thousands of jobs. Yeah, I don't even believe that. I want to see some real evidence. It's bullshit. Okay? You need to do an opportunity cost of of comparing it to other methods of power production. I mean, think about it. If you had one additional plant which would produce all the capacity of this, how many jobs would it create? How much cheaper would power be? But no one's going to invest in it. You know, strategically, the best thing to invest in for long-term power affordability is nuclear. But the time frame takes a lot longer. It's longer than the political horizon. That's why it's never going to happen. You need to get the public behind it. But, I mean, come on. The public think the world's going to end in 12 years. They believe crap like that, you know. I blame our education system, honestly. I really do. You've got a unionized, Marxist, left-wing bloody education system. People coming out believing all sorts of stupid shit. I'm getting over it. It's not only good for our... No, sorry, you said that wrong. It's not good for our economy. There we go. It will deliver less reliable, less affordable energy to households and businesses across Victoria. I fixed that quote for you. We know Victorians are doing it tough, and affordable, reliable power is more important. Oh, come on. Then why are you investing in this? So yeah, there you go, guys. What do you reckon? Do you think renewables are going to pave the way for future business opportunities in Victoria? Where would you go? Guys, because you got to remember, it's all dependent, a big chunk of Victoria's power is dependent on this thing here, you know this thing? Wind. Because these windmills, sure, they're big and they're impressive, but it's all technology. It's thousands of years old. It ain't that advanced. And then in the past, we were slaves to wind. Maybe the social justice people will start making sacrifices to the wind gods to generate the power to power their iPhones. Just wait till they start throwing people on the I don't know, the altar of, you know, that's it. Every person they deplatform appeases the wind gods and makes more power for their iPhones. As always, let me know your thoughts and opinions, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or Kucoin. You can buy our merch from HeiseSays, or you can use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint. Oh, one more thing. You've got to look at what Malcolm Roberts has recently discussed, just the cost implications of all of this renewable stuff. I think it was $1,500 a person. Brilliant. Fantastic. Gotta love Australia right now. Don't worry, we can still fix it. Take care, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.